Ho, 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 and welcome to the Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And we are doing our 12 days of Christmas treats.
That's right, and today we are sharing Candy Bar Fudge. Let's get started. Okay, so let's do this. This one is Candy Bar Fudge. It's probably going to be the recipe with maybe some of the most ingredients of all the ones that we picked out. But, so, y'all didn't think we ate all that Halloween candy, did you? We saved all the Snicker bars. This recipe, original one that we got from Taste of Home magazine years ago, it called for 6 Snicker bars that were 2.0 ounce Snicker bars, but we decided to save our Halloween candy for this, and so these are a lot smaller than 2.07 ounces, so we got way more than 6 here. I just set it on a scale till I added up 12.43 ounces. So this is 4.3? That's right? Yeah, 4.3. Yeah. So that's the Snicker bars. You need a 9-inch square pan that you have lined, and you're going to use a little butter to rub on it to make it so that it doesn't stick. You also need another 3/4 of a cup of butter, and you need 3 cups of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, some of this old mellow cream, 7 ounces of it, and how much is that? 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and 1 can of evaporated, and 1 can of I can't say that. 1 cup of evaporated milk.
That's a can.
1 can of evaporated milk.
Okay.
And that's all the ingredients that you need. So like we said, first you're going to take butter and you're going to put that in the pan, rub it around. I should have just cut a couple of slices off the butter and rubbed it in, but I wasn't thinking. So y'all could try that instead of using it like I did, because I basically turned my 1/4 of a stick of butter into mush. But anyway. Alright, so you finish that and you set it aside. Now, you're going to open up your Snicker bars and you're going to slice them into 1/2-inch slices. And I'm not going to make you sit here through that whole thing. We'll just maybe do a time lapse and speed this up. Okay, so now we're going to make it's kind of like a candy mixture. We got our sugar, our butter, and our milk. I'll put that on high so it'll start boiling. Oh, sorry. We're going to put it on medium heat. Probably would burn the sugar, I guess. We're going to make sure that this comes to the right temperature. We want 234. Calls it a soft ball stage. But anyway, 234 degrees. You can use a candy thermometer. We don't have one. If your meat thermometer goes up to, over 234 degrees, then you can use a meat thermometer instead. And so we are using our meat thermometer because it goes up to 400. So we should be good. All right, so we're boiling and now we're checking it to see when it gets to 234. Said it takes about 3 minutes, and it also says to continue stirring. So Joel is checking the temp, and because we don't have a thermometer that just sits on the side. That's the thing with candy thermometers. They usually have those little latches. So he's holding that for me, and I'm continuing to stir. Okay, so we finally got a reading of 234. I didn't stir it for a few seconds, and Look at that. Started to burn. So don't stop stirring. Don't do what I did. Okay, so you take it off the eye and you start adding in other ingredients. That's your chocolate chips. I'm gonna give that a quick stir because I don't want it to burn. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but nobody's going to know that there was little burnt spots in it. Nope. Because I just add chocolate to it. And chocolate fixes everything. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're going to take our marshmallow fluff. I haven't used marshmallow fluff in forever. If you haven't figured out, we haven't actually ever made this one before. We found the recipe and I've been holding on to it for a really long time. Wanting to make it. So the 12 Days of Christmas treats was finally my opportunity. I like trying new things. And the reason why I hardly ever try it is, I'm going to tell you, honestly, when I ask my Joel or our sons what they would like me to make, would they like me to make something new or whatever, they always say cookies and cream fudge, no matter what. So I usually end up making the same thing all the time. So, got to try something new. Marshmallow fluff gets everywhere. That's some sticky stuff. And if you also haven't figured out, we are by no means saying this one's a healthy one. Remember, we said these are ideas of gift-giving things, and not all of them would be healthy, but they might save you a little money not having to buy big gifts. So, okay. And we're also going to put a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're almost out of our vanilla extract, but that's okay because we made some homemade vanilla extract. So we've got plenty. We got like, how many jars did we have? Two? Yeah.
It's about 16 ounces total.
Yes. So we got it. That was one thing we did not have to buy. But when we put the price of how much we spent on this as a gift, as gifts, we will factor in like what it cost to buy vanilla extract in the store. But if you want to know how to make it at home, which in the long run saves you money, we will link that recipe up above. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. That's pretty. I mean, it's not good for you, but it's pretty. Oh, we will have 2 healthy recipes. If I'm not sure what day you've seen this on, but be sure to check those out if you're looking for something that is healthy that you can eat. We got you covered. Okay, so you're only putting, I think it's half. What you think?
Yep, that's good.
Okay. You spread it out. Then we're going to put our little Snicker bars down. And now, come back with the rest of it. And pour it on top. Now, it says to leave it out at room temperature and let it cool off and set. So we're just going to put some aluminum foil on the top of it just to keep it covered. And just set it somewhere and come back to it when it's done.
Alright, so we're going to take that out. Just like that. Put that to the side.
Cutting board?
Hmm?
A cutting board or something?
Well, sure. Ooh.
What? With our cookies and cream fudge, you chill it in the refrigerator, so this is new to us that it was supposed to stay out on counter. It did not say that you needed to cover it. So we decided not to cover it. Don't like those. Not so firm. Oh, it's starting to fall apart.
No, I'm just going to cut it on this.
Cut it on.
It is a little warm in here, so.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we should just put it in the refrigerator and let it chill a little bit longer?
Maybe so.
Okay. Yeah, that Orlando heat may be messing with it. I mean, because it's technically cooled down, but it's not like it's going to get cold in here. Is probably, our air conditioning is probably reading at about 80 degrees right now. Okay, so we're gonna let that chill for a little while and see if that firms up a little bit more. Okay, so we took it out of the refrigerator after about maybe 30 minutes. We probably should have left it in there longer. Again, it's just probably the heat here in Houston. It's probably just the heat here in Orlando. I don't know where I live. We've moved how many times in our life? I don't know where I live. Probably somewhere in Alabama. I'm not sure. But anyway, so it probably could have stayed in there a little bit longer because the heat is probably keeping it from setting as much as it should have. But anyway, you know, we have to go to bed and stuff, so we're gonna go ahead with it. But he is basically cutting it. According to the paper, this fudge is supposed to make right at 7 dozen pieces of fudge. So he's cutting them into pretty small pieces here just to make sure that he gets that amount out of it. So it's basically, it said 4 pounds. I will say that before it set, there was a little bit of the chocolate mixture on the side of the pan, and I took a little taste of that, and has some sweet fudge. Like I said, not healthy. Okay, so now we're putting it in a container. It's just a little rectangle container that we got at Dollar Tree, obviously for $1. Like I said, I used to get containers that were at Walmart, a 3-pack, for probably like $2.83. So it was a little bit cheaper, but this time I didn't see any, so we went ahead and got some at Dollar Tree. So we think that we're looking at about, what did I say? 7. No, how many? 8? It was 7 dozen. It's right at 7 dozen. You probably wouldn't end up with more than a dozen in each container. I'm not sure about that. It might be more. We'll see what happens when we fill it up. So that was about 7 dozen. He put 15 pieces in this container. So if you had a container this size, you might need a little bit more than a dozen per, which would mean you'd get like 5 or 6 gifts out of it. If you had a bigger container, of course, that might, or you might even have a smaller container, so you might get a little more or a little less, depending on how big your container is. But that's not bad. I mean, since it has more ingredients, it's good that you get more out of it. Okay? All right.
So thanks for joining us for the 12 Days of Christmas Treats. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more content from us. Don't forget to comment below and tell us what Christmas treats you're doing, or if you tried one of our recipes, let us know how it went in the comments.
Also, tag us on Instagram at The Long Run with Joel and Chrissy. We'd love to see your creations.
That's right. So for The Long Run with Joel and Chrissy, I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And don't forget, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.